everybody, this is the Wikstrand. So, today we're going to take a look at On the Waterfront, one of the greatest performances of all time by good old Marlon Brando. Is it better than The Godfather? It's debatable. You could say that from a character arc standpoint, I would say that this is definitely, maybe the second best he has done. I still think that The Godfather is my favorite when it comes to good old Marlon Brando. But how good is the rest of the movie? How good is the Academy Award winner from 1954? Let's have a look at it, shall we? This is On the Waterfront. The harbor of Hoboken, New Jersey. The workers here have a problem because they have a corrupt union boss called Johnny Friendly. But Johnny is not so friendly actually, because he demands that you pay him in order to get to work on the docks. If you don't pay, you don't get to work. And he's basically untouchable because there is a big, if you're going to use an Italian term, it is the omertà, which is, the term you're using, that you don't snitch, you don't talk about this. No matter how bad things are at the docks, you do not tell the authorities and you don't snitch. But that is precisely what one of the dock workers are going to do. So Friendly is using Marlon Brando's character, who used to be a prize fighter, to, go and frighten him up a little bit. But the thing goes out of hands and he dies. And after Terry accidentally kills this guy, he starts to befriend the sister, Edie Doyle, played by Eva Marie Saint in her debut film. And my God, what a debut it was. And she, tries to, make him see the world in a different way. And he slowly but surely starts to, turn a new leaf and starts to, see the world in a different way. Is he going to be able to, stand up to Johnny Friendly? And by doing so, is he willing to risk become, a pariah of society because, nobody wants to talk about this? Is he going to be able to take him down, or is he going to be flattened out entirely? From the get-go, we don't know that much about Terry's character, but very, very smartly and very, very deliberately, we get to, they're adding layer upon layer upon layer on the character, and we get to know him a little bit more. And we do understand, that he's a very complex character, and he wants to do the right thing, but he's afraid to do so. Now, while this movie had lasted about 2/3 of its runtime, I said to myself that, okay, this is a pretty okay movie, and Brando's really good in this one, and there are some really, really good sequences here and there. It is really slow, and all these kitchen sink realism, thing they are throwing at me is going a bit too much overboard. I think this movie is a bit overrated. But then the third act kicked in, and holy shit, what a third act it is. I would say that when it comes to, third acts saving, 2 weak first acts, this is a prime example of it, because I would say that single-handedly the third act saved this movie, because it was actually quite astonishing. It was excellent, with an absolutely magnificent chef kiss ending to the whole thing, which redeemed the entire thing and made it entirely, worthy of being the winner of the 1954 Academy Awards, technically 1955, but who's counting? Anyway, so this movie has a really slow start, but it has an amazing finish. And On the Waterfront is also one of very few occasions which I think that this movie was actually helped by being shot in black and white. If somebody asks me, I can never shut up about how much I fucking hate black and white in movies. I hate it, because it deprives you of a very important tool of filmmaking, colors. But this is one of very few occasions where I think that it was a good idea to make this movie in black and white. It did not put any constraint of the story. It is a very, very smartly told, it's a very, very smartly written movie. And you do really care about the characters. I think that this movie is probably most famous for Marlon Brando's monologue in the back of the taxi when he's talking to his brother, played by Rod Steiger. The "I could have been a contender" speech that he does, and it is really, really good. Should you see this movie? Yes, you most definitely should. I went into this movie thinking that it was going to be kind of a film noir movie, because I have been led to believe something like that. It clearly wasn't. This is a full-on drama, and I also like the fact that this movie is kind of shot like a film noir movie without being a film noir movie. Stupendously directed, excellently written, and fantastically acted, with an amazing third act and a fantastic finish, made this movie a really fun experience. But you have to go through a lot of not so interesting stuff before you get to the really, really good stuff. It's not a movie that watch multiple times to find out new small little details and Easter eggs and stuff like that, but for one viewing it is definitely worth it. It is one of my favorite movies that has won the Academy Awards from this time period, definitely. Brando is great, Steiger is great, Eva Marie Saint having one of the best debuts of all time. She's also great. Multiple interesting side characters and a very, very, very compelling story gives this movie 77 points. It is not quite one of the all-time greatest movies of all time that has won an Academy Award for Best Movie, but it is definitely much, much better than most movies around the same time that won. So I'll see you next time for, well, so and so reviewing, well, such and such. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much.